Hi everyone, this is lesson 2 from module 2. We are using number lines to model the addition of integers. So write down your essential questions, pausing it if you need to. How can we model addition on the number line? And what does the length and direction of the arrow represent? So obviously as we get moving here, we're going to talk about arrows and directions when modeling addition problems. All right, let's suppose you receive $10 from your grandmother for your birthday and you spend $4 on snacks. Using addition, how would you write a number sentence to represent the situation? Now, I know that a lot of you are thinking like, well, you said addition, but can I just do 10 minus 4? Well, interesting is this is going to be the same mathematical answer and problem as 10 minus 4, but we're going to talk about it on the number line, which will look like this. I have $10 and then I spend $4. So it's like saying I have 10 and then I lose 4 or I owe 4 or I take away 4. Okay, the answer hopefully you already know is 6. What we're going to practice right now is that simple problem on a number line. So here's what it looks like. I've got positive 10 and we were showing it like this. We were going like 1, 2, 3 and we were counting using those little bumps kind of is what I call it. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually show, instead of going to the right 10 and then back 4, that's what this could look like here, plus 10 minus 4. We're going to show them using straight lines from now on. So if you wrote it, that's fine. You can leave it. If you want to rewrite it with me right now, this is what it's going to look like. If not, that's fine. You can do this on the next example. Okay, so we're going to start at 0, and we're going to go to the right 10 places, or 10 units. And then we left off at 10, so that's where we're going to kind of make the end of the next arrow. The next arrow is going to go to the left 4. And I kind of like to follow it down, and then the answer is 6. Okay, so either way we do that, the answer is 6. Okay, there's a lot of pages in this lesson, but it's kind of simple math. So let's move on to example 1. That's on page 14. And it says, complete the steps to find the sum of negative 2 plus 3 by filling in the blanks. So we're going to use this number line and fill in A through F. So we're going to model a sentence using the number line, and these arrows are called vectors. So the first thing we want to do is place the tail, think tail is like the end, the tail of the arrow on 0. We always want to make 0 our starting point. Then we're going to draw the arrow 2 units to the left because that's negative 2. Okay, so two units to the left. And I like to label it, even if we have to kind of keep it going up there. The direction of the arrow is to the left since we are counting down. So all the numbers to the left, they're getting smaller. Okay, that's why the negatives are to the left of 0 and to the right are positive. So the next arrow, start the next arrow at the end of the first arrow or at negative 2. So we're still at negative 2. The next thing it says is to do plus 3. So draw the second arrow 3 units to the right, since we're counting up from negative 2. So if we go 3 units to the right, we're going 1, 2, 3. And we're going to stop at positive 1. And that's it. That's the answer. That's exactly how you do this. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and try that process for the next problem. Repeat those steps A through F for the expression 3 plus negative 2. Pause it. Do 3 plus negative 2 on your own with the straight lines. Start at 0, move this direction this many, and then move this direction this many. Okay, pause it and try that on your own, and then we'll see what happened. Okay, so did you start at 0 and go to the right 3? And then from 3 you went to the left 2? And you ended at positive 1. All right, so what can you say about the problem negative 2 plus 3 and 3 plus negative 2? Does order matter when adding numbers? Okay, we know that they are both equal to 1. So does the order matter? No, because the order for addition problems You write this in there. I'll move this in just a minute. Okay, no, because the order for addition problems does not matter because the arrows are the same length and direction. All that was saying is that if I go 3 to the right and 2 to the left, that's the same as going 2 to the left and 3 to the right. Either way, I end up at positive 1. Okay, so go ahead and write your own story problem for negative 2 plus 3. You can think about money, football, forward, backward. So you come up with your own story problem. If you don't know, you can go back to that later, but make sure you fill this in. Okay, let's go to page 15. And we're going to talk about the absolute value again. So we learned this in our last lesson. Absolute value is the distance from 0. You know, if it's something that I've never learned before and I hear it again and then my teacher repeats the definition, I should probably do this. So how does the absolute value? Absolute value is the distance from 0. So go ahead and write that again. So how far is it from 0? How does the absolute value determine the arrow length for negative 2? Well, the arrow length for negative 2 is 2 units. It is 2 units long. So then how does the absolute value, there's that word again, determine the arrow length for 3? Well, to go from 0 to 3, it is 3 units long. Okay, now I want you to do this last one on your own. How does absolute value help you represent negative 10 on a number line? Okay, hopefully you knew that it is 10 units long. Let's put in parentheses to the left. So we can just count 10 units to the left when we see negative 10. And that's how you use this on a number line. Okay, on page 16, I want you to pause this and do exercise 2 by yourself. Okay, it should take you about 1, maybe 2 minutes. I want you to try negative 6 plus 4. So I'm going to give you some key words here. This is going to be to the left, and this is going to be to the right, because we have negative, then positive. This one is positive plus a negative. So then you'll move right first, left second. Okay, go ahead and draw the arrows, and then unpause it to see how you did. Okay, if you're watching this, it means you already tried it and you're seeing if you did it correct. So 6 to the left, and then 4 to the right. Where did we end up? Negative 2. Okay, next one. We went 3 to the right and 8 to the left. So be careful. Don't go to negative 8. That's a common mistake. Some kids are like, well, it says negative 8, so I want to go here. But it doesn't mean go to negative 8. It means count 8 places to the left. So let's make sure I did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Okay, so this was 3 to the right and 8 to the left. So we got all the way here to negative 5. Okay? Great. Now let's look at example 3. I'm going to help you with this one because it's got 3 numbers in our addition problem. Write the equation. So we want to start with this one first because that's the first arrow. And then see where it left off? That's where this tail arrow starts. So then negative 2. And then same thing. Where we left off, then we have a positive 3. So to make that cleaner, let's say 5 first plus negative 2 second plus 3 last. And since 5 and 3 are positive, we don't need to put a sign in front of them. Okay? What 3 cards are represented in this model? Well, back to the thinking about the integer game. If you were holding those 3 cards, what would your score be? We have 5, negative 2, and positive 3. In what ways does this model differ from the one we used in lesson 1? Okay, in lesson 1, we were talking a lot about opposites. So the sum here is not 0. the numbers are not opposite. Also, we are using 3 numbers. So quite a few ways that this is a little different. Okay, can you make a connection between the sum of 6 and where the third arrow ends on the number line? Okay, the third arrow ends at -6. So that's all it's saying is the third arrow ends at, oh, sorry, +6. At 6. We counted 3 units to the right of 3. Now, if you're not sure what that means, watch, I'm going to show you up here on the number line. So what happened when I did 5 first plus -2, I was at 3, but then I still needed to go 3 more, and that's why we ended up at 6 as our final answer. Okay, so I'm going to clean that up so you can see the original arrows again. Okay? And that was example, oh, sorry, that was example 3, but we still have just a couple questions left in example 3. So let's move on over to page 17. So I told you this would go kind of fast. These are pretty straightforward questions. There's not a lot of complicated word problems yet. All right, so would the sum change if we change the order in which we add the numbers? For example, -2 plus 3 plus 5. So if you want to, do that on your number line. If you know how to do this in your head using mental math, thinking about like money, spending or owing money, and then having money, figure out if it would be 6 or if it would change because of the order. Okay, hopefully you know that the answer is still 6. No, the sum is still 6. Okay, now how would the diagram change? This is where I wanted you to picture it on the number line. Okay, so would the diagram change? Yes. The arrows would be in a different order. Okay, and then I'm going to draw this so that you can kind of see what we would do first. We would do the -2 first, then to the right 3, and finally to the right 5. So if we were to graph it, it would look a little different than the last one. Okay, now the word summary is not on here, so go ahead and write in the word summary here with the colon, and then you can do that now or you can do that during class. But it is up to you to answer the summary by answering our essential question all the way back here. How can we model addition on the number line? And what does the length and direction of the arrow represent? So hopefully you were paying attention that we are counting units, and the length is the absolute value. Like if it's 5 or -5, the arrow is 5 units, and the direction is going to be either positive or negative. If it's positive, the arrow goes to the right. If it's negative, the arrow goes to the left. So I basically just said in words what your summary should be. So you put it in your own words, and that is a wrap on lesson number 2.